We're back.
Hey guys, I'm Marc Istook.
I'm Diane Mizota, and we're talking about broken hearts this week's episode of Homeland.
That's right. Again, this is a spoiler alert. So if you haven't seen the episode yet, make sure to bookmark us. Watch the episode. Broken hearts, come back. Watch us.
Okay.
Talk about it.
The first thing I have to start off with, but there were quite a few WTF moments this week. Am I right?
I think so. I mean, I enjoyed this episode a lot, but there were a few moments where I had to really scratch my head and be like, really?
I think they were asking a lot in terms of suspension of disbelief, but I'm just gonna go with it, right? Like, let's just go with it. But why would they stop surveillance on Brody's phone?
Right.
Why would they stop it?
Skyping with Abu Nazir, as was obvious by the big Skype logo.
Right. The next day after he cut his deal, he must not have any more ties with Abu Nazir. We don't need to surveil his phone anymore.
I don't get it. But people online were talking about it, about how...
They were. Kella Cooper on Twitter said, "This entire thing makes no sense, but I'll go with it. #Homeland. Yes, I think we're all in the same boat.
Well, let's start off with Nazir nabs Carrie.
We called it last week. Actually, we didn't call it. It was a Facebook post that said,
we agreed with it.
And we were like, yeah,
right?
You know what? Carrie got nabbed by Abu Nazir.
That's
that
right.
scene was so great with them.
He used her as a pawn in trying to get Brody back on track, trying to do his bidding for him. And yeah, definitely a great tense scene between Carrie and Nazir as they talked about him being a terrorist and what he's fighting for.
How do you think he knew about Carrie and Brody? Just from Roya and what Brody had told Roya?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Brody was very good at keeping secrets. Plus, Nazir knows everything.
He knows a lot.
He's like Santa Claus.
Kinda.
He knows when you've been naughty.
Right?
He knows when you've been nice.
Yeah.
Brody kills Walden.
Oh my gosh. Okay, was anyone else, this is what I was thinking. I'm like, don't tell him. What if he doesn't die? Don't tell him what you're doing.
We're not sure he is dead.
He might not be dead.
Right.
And then Brody's that was dumb.
His fingerprints are all over that office, by the way.
All over the place. Okay, and then the other suspension of disbelief here was, why didn't he just take a picture of the serial number? Why does he have to be like, oh, I can't see it. Let me look for a magnifying glass. Okay, and some people on Facebook were like, well, that's traceable if he sent a photo to Abu Nazir.
So is a text message, though.
Right. Isn't Skyping?
Yeah.
What?
They certainly didn't tease that Walden was going to die last night.
Maybe he's not dead.
Maybe he's the mole.
I kind of like that. All right, yes. Which brings us to the third big development of the night. Who's the mole? Let's play Who's the Mole.
We've been getting nuggets for a while, but last night definitely when Brody asks Nazir, how do you know this about the box?
Ding, 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 ding. Yeah.
What's the name of the box?
The pacemaker.
About
how
the
do you
pacemaker
know about the
box.
pacemaker? And he says, oh, the New York Times.
Yeah.
Not buying it. And how did Roya know the combination to the safe in Este's office?
So predictions on who the mole might be. I'm leaning toward Este's.
Yeah, you know, I've been a long proponent of that it's Saul. I love Saul, but I think that this show throws you so many twists and turns that you would never think it's Saul, so then they're setting you up to think it's Saul.
Right.
When he got taken into questioning last night.
The hard part about it being Saul is I feel like, one, you're going to piss the viewers off because there's been never any reason for us to really suspect Saul other than that kind of iffy polygraph test from a year ago. Otherwise, Estes has never really been a likable character. And he obviously has shown that he's willing to go behind people's backs when he ordered the hit on Brody with Quinn.
Yes.
And I think he has a reason to protect the fact that he was complicit in the drone strike that killed innocent children.
Right.
So.
Yes, and you know what? We found a really good gem here on Facebook. Dimitri said, does anyone else have a hunch that Nazir is Este's asset? Gone rogue, perhaps? And that he ended up in the U.S. the same way Tom Walker did?
Something to think about.
And also that Saul may have a pattern of giving sharp objects to people with nothing to lose? Oh my gosh,
Definitely
the questions!
a pattern there.
There's some patterns.
Well, Twitter was abuzz last night after this episode. Definitely some snarky tweets.
There were some snark attacks happening on Twitter last night, which I love. We both love them. And one of the best ones was from the Garants on Twitter. The most unrealistic thing about this week's Homeland, that Brody can get streaming video on a BlackBerry.
Not gonna happen. No.
That was amazing. Then also on Get Glue, that other girl 3H said, did he just mock our organic foods? I hate Abu Nazir.
Yeah, because that's why you want to hate Abu Nazir, because he's anti-organic.
He mocked our organic foods
all the
and our way of
terrorism
living.
stuff. 2 episodes left of Homeland.
Oh my God, what are we breaking it too.
That's right. We hope that you have enjoyed this episode of Spoiler Alert. Tweet us your questions, your comments. Maybe we'll read them right here.
Who do you think the mole is? Because this is going to be the cliffhanger of season 2. That is my prediction. There's going to be a mole, and you'll have to find out who it is. But
I say Estes.
Is it Galvez? He came back last night. I love Galvez, but he's probably too small of a character to be the mole. So Estes or Saul, tweet us.
At Marc Istook.
Diane Mizota. See you guys next time.
Bye.